What do all men with power want? More power. The Oracle, The Matrix Reloaded. In the nearest future, humans will have powers. I am talking about actual superpowers. You could process information as fast as a computer, study for hours without losing focus, hear distant sounds, and even see in the dark. These extraordinary feats will be possible with the help of microchips implanted in our brains. And while many people will cringe at the thought of these, brain implants are nothing new. However, the technology has mostly focused on helping those with disabilities, like hearing disorders. But times have changed, and scientists are broadening the scope of technology to optimize humanity. This is how humanity will gain new superpowers, and it all started with a need to be better. This video is sponsored by MyTasker. More about them at the end of this video. Humans have always tried to improve themselves, whether to survive as a species or dominate their kind. We are driven by the need to think better, look better, communicate better, study better, and even fight better. These needs have driven us to the pinnacle of the food chain. And with each milestone accomplished, we set new milestones for ourselves. It is never enough, but nature has placed a limit on what we can do, both physically and mentally. For instance, it was believed that we only use 10% of our brain, and unlocking the other 90% will result in extraordinary mental capabilities. Later, it was discovered that all parts of our brain are actively working whether we are resting, looking at pictures, or solving complex maths equations. Although the 10% theory was debunked, one can't help to wonder why some people seem more gifted than others. You might have heard of people who could memorize a whole deck of cards, learn a new language easily, and solve complex maths problems in their head. Physically, they do not look any different than we are, so it all comes down to the working of their minds. If this is so, then they are consciously or unconsciously using their minds in ways the rest of us are yet to. But science has come up with a way to even the playing field, and it is in the form of a chip. Our brains consist of neurons, which are like tiny wires that transmit electrical charges. These electrical discharges are specific, like Morse codes, where each discharge means something different. For instance, the electrical discharges for an itch are different from that of pain. That's how you know when to scratch or wince in pain. The same process goes on in our brain when we are thinking, sleeping, eating, or feeling lazy. It is all about the way our neurons interact using electrical discharges, and this is where brain chips come in. Over the years, the use of brain chips has slowly evolved from treating common brain disorders to enhancing individuals with amazing capabilities. There are reports of cochlear implants that can do more than just restore hearing, but also enable the user to tune off what they don't want to hear, and also hear sounds that are far away. Night vision could be possible with improved retinal implants, some of which are already being used to restore partial sight in people who are blind. We are not far from being able to control things with our minds, and feeling depressed and moody could soon be a thing of the past, all with the help of brain implants not bigger than a coin. And if you think computers are fast, wait till you see a chip-enhanced brain. According to Elon Musk, we could have abilities on par with those of AI. These may sound fictitious, but we are already living in the age of science fiction. The question is, how would brain chips help us become more productive, make better decisions, and become more successful as individuals and as a society? It all comes down to the incredible capability of the human brain. Make no mistake, the human brain is the most sophisticated system that ever existed. Compared to the 200 years of computer evolution, the human brain has been around for more than 300,000 years. The brain versus computer debate has been going on for years, ever since computers became incredibly fast. There are videos showing how humans are defeated by computers in games of chess and Go. But according to scientists, computers are nowhere near the processing capacity of the brain. In fact, the human brain is believed to be 30 times faster than the fastest computer. The human brain also consumes far less energy compared to the energy-hugging supercomputers. Despite its awesome features, there seems to be a form of biological throttle that limits how much brain power we can tap into at any given time. Only a small fraction of the human population is capable of harnessing a higher level of brain power, and we refer to them as geniuses. But if science has taught us anything, it's the fact that we are all capable of attaining this genius level of thinking. With brain implants, everyone could have the option of unlocking the full capacity of their mind. And while it sounds as if there are limitless possibilities, we can't forget about potential risks while taking humanity to the next level. One disturbing trend is the hacking of biomedical devices. Before now, hackers were more interested in getting into banks, stealing government secrets to sell on the black market, or identity theft. But now, they have a new niche, and that is hacking into biomedical devices. Why anybody will want to compromise another person's health is beyond me, but in 2021, 45 million people were victims of healthcare hackers. And if they could go as far as hacking into pacemakers and insulin pumps, then imagine what they will be willing to do to get their hands on a brain chip. The consequences will be greater than anything we have seen so far, as people could be forced to act against their own will. As if that is not enough, there is another potential problem, and this one has even got scientists worried. The problem is that our body rejects foreign matter, and this is one of the biggest challenges with implants of any type. Nobody knows how the brain will react to the presence of a chip. It could end up compromising other areas of our lives, most especially our emotions or feelings. Our feelings separate us from machines, and without the ability to act based on our feelings, we would stop being humans. We would no longer get to enjoy the complexities of love, know the joy of fatherhood, or the unspoken bond of brotherhood. Without our emotions and feelings, we would become cold, calculating machines. It's hard to predict how the technology will develop, but for now, there is a better and simpler way to become more productive and get more things done. You can build your own power circle by hiring virtual assistants and using the power of collective intelligence to your advantage. At MyTasker, you can hire a team of professional virtual assistants to help you with your business or personal task. Take some of the load off your back by delegating some of your tasks to well-trained professionals. You can get experts to help you out with internet research, content writing, accounting, website development, and more. Getting started is easy and risk-free, as you can test out their services before you make a decision. You will also get a 40% discount if you use the code ProductivityGuy40 when signing up for your first month. I will leave the link in the description so you can check them out. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.